Good morning, family. I trust that you wake this morning with peace and grace and love in your heart. As you can see, I am up. It's still dark here. You can see it's still morning, early morning in Johannesburg, South Africa, but I could not really let another moment go without having this short conversation with you. As you can see, Mama T is still in her pajamas. I put on a little dress because it's middle of the morning, but I just could not stay asleep. And the reason is I need you to join me in thinking, praying, and meditating on the state of the world that we have right now. I woke up because this level of wholesale murder of our babies in the womb. It's got me just up days and days. I cannot sleep, especially when I look at the numbers. So I just want to give you some information. I'm going to send it out as well, but I just felt I needed to just talk about this for a minute. As of 3:37 this morning, there were 25,071,871 murders in the name of woman's freedom labeled as abortions. But let me tell you, in 22 days, there's a heart once a sperm hits an egg. In 6 weeks, there's a brain. There's no such thing as a fetus. It's a person. It's an embryo. Now, we have been locked down since, I don't know, forever. And while every death is important, we've lost 692,694 people to COVID. 694,694 to COVID. And we've closed down the world. In communicable diseases, seasonal flu, HIV, cancer, smoking, death by alcohol, death by smoking, suicide, and car accidents. Since January, we've lost 19,618,264 people. 19 million versus 694,000. We've lost over 8 million from communicable diseases. That's hepatitis, that's tuberculosis, that's malaria. We didn't cut down and close down the world. That's my general information. But in terms of abortions, of wholesale murder, I'm wondering, how did we have over 25 million abortions when the world is shut down? Have we decided that the wholesale murder of unborn children is an essential service? How did they have these abortions at home? No, they went to an abortion clinic. So while the whole world is shut down, economies are decimated, especially in Africa, where 90% of everybody makes money every day. So being closed down for 2 and 3 months, imagine. And yet abortions have been going on since January to the tune of 25 million unborn people since January till today at 3:37 a.m. South Africa time. Really? So we have decided that the wholesale murder of unborn people is an essential service while we close down people's livelihood. And since January worldwide, we've lost 692,694 people. All deaths are critical and important. But we closed the world down, which is affecting more people because since January, we've had 632,000 suicides. No, people. We have to wake up. You have to get up. You have to stand up. You have to stand up against this tyranny. We are tyranny. Quarantine is for sick people. We've been on house arrest. And there's nothing social about being away from your neighbor. There's nothing social about letting loved ones die in the hospital alone. From all kinds of diseases, people are dying alone. They're not just dying from COVID. We're not allowed to go see our family members who are dying from cancer. So far, there have been 4.8 million deaths by cancer since January. Those people are dying alone. They can't go into the hospital. Really? There have been over almost 700,000 deaths, 900,000 deaths, from HIV. We have to remember people are dying in hospital from other things. And we're not allowing them to be seen by their relatives or family. Really? Really? And yet, abortions have been going on since January to the tune of over 25 million. So that's an essential service. That clinics are open for wholesale murder of unborn people. People, not fetuses, people. And yes, women, wherever you are, you have the right to your body to do whatever you want to do. The right to your body. So you can get an IUD, you can have your tubes tied, you can get a hysterectomy, you can take pills, medicine, not to get pregnant. It is your choice. But once a sperm hits an egg, it's another person who has human rights that we decide are not human rights. I don't even want to get in this morning about what it has to say to you as a woman to murder your own child. I don't even want to get to that. You have the right to do with your body what you want. But when there's an egg in there that has been hit by a sperm and there's a thing growing, it's another person. And you do not have the right, morally, spiritually. I know somebody told you legally, but slavery was legal. Really? You want to tell me about legal? No, you don't have that right. And then we wonder why women are being abused. Really, where did you think the energy would go when we have murdered 25 million humans? While there is a lockdown on things that people need to live, we are killing people wholesalely. And the things that people need to live, we've closed that down. Really? No. Enough is enough. Stop it. There's a whole nefarious thing going on. I'm not blaming this on God. This is a human man-made madness. But we can't keep lying about what's going on. We can't. 19 million people have died, many in hospital, alone without their family, from things like cancer, HIV, alcohol-related disease, cigarette, smoking-related disease. And they have not had family members there. And COVID has killed less than 700,000 people across the world. And we have closed down the world. We've made people look like they're contaminated. We've quarantined well people, which is not quarantine, it's house arrest. You quarantine sick people. So somebody has made our brains cut off, but some of us are awake and we're tired. So we need to rethink this. And I want to know how abortion clinics have stayed open as an essential service, murdering 25 million human beings across the world, while we close down people's businesses and long-term businesses and companies, and millions of people out of work, millions of people without food. You want to lock us down, there's nothing to lock in. And especially in Africa, social distancing is a joke. When you have small little places to live and there are 20 people in that place. No, people, wake up and wake up today. Because if we don't, we are going to find ourselves in worse shape spiritually, emotionally, mentally, even over and above the economic impact that we've seen and the levels of corruption across the world on PPEs and taking advantage of this thing that is really a covert pandemic. It's been planned. We've got too much information from 2003, 2007, 2010, the Rockefeller report. Really? Movies, information that's been out there as if getting us ready. We're not ready. And yet, as humans, we have given up our civil rights, our human rights to something like this while these other things are happening around us. So this is Mama T, voice of wisdom. I couldn't sleep. You see, I'm in my pajama top. Well, all my whole pajamas. I had to put on a little dress so I could talk to you this morning. And I put on a little lip gloss so I wouldn't look horrid. But really, beloved, I'm begging you to wake up, stand up, act up if necessary. But we can't keep being in this state. This state is really unnatural. The new normal. Really? Locked down, closed down, quarantine, can't stand, wearing masks. That's the new normal. Stop saying those words. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. Stop agreeing with this. Stop agreeing. You know how ridiculous it is? You wear a mask, you didn't take the mask off, you think COVID is on the mask, but yet you hold the mask, then later you touch your face. Oh, we've lost our mind. I'm Teddy Pendergrass with that. Wake up, everybody. Wake up. And stand up and get pissed that your life, by some nefarious group of whoever they are, have decided some things about us. This life doesn't belong to them. It belongs to God. God made us. That's why this abortion situation is so heinous. And women are attacked, and we're worried about violence, gender-based violence in the world. And every day the CDC has reported at least 125,000 abortions every day. Because we're at 50 million abortions a year, if already we got 25 million since January. But I want to know, how did we get them? If everything's closed down. We've decided that the wholesale murder of unborn people is an essential service. Really now? So I just had to bring this to you. And, I wanted my little YouTube channel to be fun and light and, airy and whatever. But this is so critical to me. So critical that we are missing the numbers. And if you don't trust me, go Google it. Google number of abortions. You can go on the World Meter. You can go on a number of places and find out what is happening. What is the real story? I also looked at the covert, and I do want to read this because it's very interesting on this covert number. It says that there are currently active 6,094,997 cases. That's right, 6 million. Today, the population is 7.9 billion. And out of 7.9 billion, there are 6,094,997 active cases. It is reported that 6,029,244 cases are mild, 99%. 1%, 65,953 are what they're calling serious or critical. Serious or critical. That's 1% of the 6 million that are active today out of 7.9 billion humans on the earth. So you do the math. And out of that number, 692,694 have died since January 2020. Do the math. And yet we've lost let me pick a number. Communicable diseases, 7,651,245 people, 7.6 million people have died from Hep C, tuberculosis, malaria, all the communicable diseases. And another 300,000 have died from seasonal flu. Communicable diseases, the word means it's communicable. And yet we've not closed down the whole world. But for me today, the abortion number is the worst. Because people are dying. People live and people die. And if you look at the numbers, about 83 million people have been born this year and about 35 million have died. So yeah, there's more people coming than going. We understand. And it's wonderful. And they should stop lying. There is enough food. There is enough area. There is enough water if we treated our earth better. If we didn't have horrible Terminator seeds and telling farmers they can't use their own seeds because they have to buy. We're in the hemp business and we got an offer from a company to sell us seeds that we can only use once. Are they crazy? We grow up in a farm. No, really. That's a story for another day. I don't want to get too far off the thing because I could talk about 10,000 things this morning. But I want to know, how did we as a people decide that wholesale murder of unborn children was an essential service? So the whole world is locked down. People cannot make a living. People are in danger of killing themselves and not having enough food and losing their jobs. And yet we've been able to kill over 25 million humans through abortion, through so-called woman's right to choose. Choose not to get pregnant. That's where your choice ends. Choose not to get pregnant. And there's 10 or 12 ways that can happen. But after a sperm hits an egg, you have no choice. That baby also has a choice. And you're not asking that baby. And it's a baby, a human. And somehow, since January, we've been able to keep abortion clinics open to kill over 25 million humans, while we lock down to save the other adult humans or living humans from dying, and we've lost less than 700,000 of those. And I dare say that number is probably exaggerated because now we've got a lesser number of seasonal flu. And I'm not saying that this is not a dis-ease, but the numbers on the other dis-eases outweigh this. Why aren't we crazy about the HIV number over 1 million? The cancer number closing in on 5 million. I don't even want to get to smoking and alcohol, which is almost 4.5 million deaths due to alcohol-related and smoking-related illnesses. No, people. No, people. You need to get up, wake up, and act up, and stop acting like a bozo with no brain. Because one thing for sure, I know God gave us a brain, but we've all been traumatized with fear. The virus is fear. The virus is fear. And while I'm having a political, social, emotional conversation, I will evoke the spiritual. I rebuke that demon of fear. False evidence appearing real. And they've got us all acting like we're scared of each other. We're contaminated. We're burying people and the people burying have a hazmat suit on. Really? No. Enough is enough. Enough is too much. In fact, we're way past too much, where we can kill 25 million people on a lockdown. Everybody's locked down, but the abortion people are working. Really? No. And we want God to bless us and to stop the pandemic? Are you kidding? How? When we put this kind of energy of murder, wholesale personal murder in the earth with no connection to nothing except my right to choose. Yeah, I have a right to choose not to get pregnant. So I had to bring this to you this morning, the middle of the morning, because we need to wake up and think. We need to wake up and think. So I do love you. Mama T loves you. I do. But I need some soldiers. God needs some workers. We need some real people. We don't need no religious people. None. All the religion, please. You need to step aside because you're not working. We need kingdom people to stand up for righteousness, because righteousness exalts a nation. Righteousness exalts a nation. And we need righteousness. We need right thinking. We need honest thinking. We need moral thinking. We need character thinking to be able to say no to things that are absolutely wrong. And we know it. We don't need anybody. It's in us already what's right and what's wrong. But anytime abortion clinics can make sure that they've got all the pieces or there's little bodies, no, those are people. And we need to be questioning why grocery stores, people who own businesses, hair salons, people who are out of business, millions of people out of work. And yet the abortion clinics have been able to murder 25 million people in the name of freedom. Well, I like my freedom not to be locked in house arrest. How about that? And walking around like masked men. No. Wake up, world, and think, and say no, and ask questions, and read, and study. But we're all begging God to intervene. No, you intervene. We should we have power to intervene. But we're waiting for some magical thing to fall from the sky. And as for COVID, there are too many truths out there about how to get well. There are too many. And I've got some personal experience. My baby sister was in the hospital. She was treated with chloroquine, zinc, and an antibiotic. She was out of the hospital in 5 days. My son-in-law, not so blessed. He was put on a ventilator with a lung, and COVID affects the lungs. Really now, there's enough information. There's enough information. I make a drink my kids call Mama T's crack, which got everything in it. Garlic, ginger, turmeric, lemons, oranges, pineapple, cayenne pepper, cinnamon, all mixed together, boiled a little bit, strained, and drank every day. And that's just at home. But there's various kind of medicine, herbs. We've been doing it in Africa. Wake up, world. And wake up, Africa. Because we have the least bit of problems here. And we really, thank God it didn't start here, else we would have all been, they would have sprayed something in the air to kill us all, to take all the minerals, since they got to negotiate. No, please. So we are able to kill 25 million people since January. I think we can do better about this COVID lockdown business and start asking questions and start pushing the envelope. But until we repent of those murders, this is just the beginning of problems and pestilence. Because we've become so cold and callous and unfeeling with no compassion. So I love you. I really do. I know that there's a God that loves us, but he's given us dominion. He's given us a brain. And every time we relinquish our own power to some other people who are trying to kill us, we lose the plot. So ask the question, how have we been locked down for almost 5 months, and yet there's been 25 million murders at abortion clinics that are perceived as essential services? And I want to know, why is the murder of unborn babies considered an essential service? And women mostly, how are you expecting yourself to be blessed at this level? And this is not a judgment. This is a real thing. I'm not judging you. I'm asking you to consider about judging yourself, because it's murder. So something's going to happen. I don't know why we're always surprised when stuff happens and we don't know where it came from. Most of it, we did it. There's energy. Energy goes. We keep thinking things are magic. Things, you put stuff in the earth, it comes back. We reap what we sow. You get a fruit from a seed. And the fruit never looks like the seed, by the way. So we need to stop it. You want freedom of choice? You got choice not to get pregnant. Bam. So I do wish you a blessed coming week, but I wish you a week of waking up and getting up and having your spirit stirred up so that we can figure out and do the things that lead to life. The Messiah came that we would have life and have it more abundantly. God put life. Even I was teaching even the other day, you open a fruit with seeds. That's life. You want to have food security? God gave it to us already. It's in the fruit. It's in the seed. No, we're killing the seed. We have seedless everything. Really now. So you have to stir yourself up to be what God made us to be, a real active human being that has dominion over his own environment or her own environment, and then the world at large. And stop being surprised when foolishness happens. We did it. So we can stop didding it, as I say to the little kids. So may God bless you. May he make his face to shine upon you. May he open up your heart and your mind to have levels of compassion and thinking. May he cause your feet to walk in the right way. May he make the crooked way for you straight. May he make your dark path light. May he empower you to be powerful in love, in peace, and joy. I wish you a blessed day, a blessed week, and I wish that we as a people will take our rightful place in God's hierarchy, and we're at the top of it in the earth. I mean, the seraphims and the cherubims, they're up there, but really, we are the ones that have been given the capacity to create and to think. So may God continue to give us mercy, because God knows we need mercy. May his grace follow us, his goodness, his mercy follow us all the days of our life. May our cups run over, because he's a God that has created a world with no lack. The reason we have lack is because we have greed. So we need to work on all of that immediately. And no magic potion is going to do that. We have to decide that we want to be the best humans we can be. May God bless all of us and keep us. I love you.